In this module, we'll be looking at what I titled Understanding Testnets. Let's get straight into it. A testnet is an experimental blockchain network or web app, mobile app interface created specifically for developers or end users to test new features. It helps solve and prevent any interruptions, glitches, or damage on the main blockchain network or the app. Testnets are also used for market simulations or to experiment with the development of new cryptocurrencies. Most testnets will cost testers nothing except a time commitment. Projects use testnets as a way to stress test their product and find bugs or vulnerabilities in their product before it's released to a wider market. Now, a testnet can either be incentivized, that is, attract cash or token rewards, or not. Some projects announce if it is, and some don't, but eventually reward the testnet participants. So, engaging in testnet activities doesn't guarantee a reward. So, it's not a fixed, you know, guarantee that once you once you participate in a testnet, you should expect a reward. It's never fixed. Testnets use tokens without real world monetary value, which are gotten from a dedicated faucet. A project will usually provide step by step guides to help you optimally utilize the testnet features. So, um, testnets use tokens without real world monetary value, right? Most, if not all, blockchains require gas fees, right? And gas fees are just a um, a measure, so to speak, of computing value, right? So you want to process so and so transaction, or you want to conduct so and so computation on the network, right? It will cost you so and so amount of gas to complete that. So it's like a measure of processing power, right? Now, in the normal sense, when you interact with blockchains, it will cost you, you know, a um, it will cost you gas fees that can be exchanged for real value. That's if you buy Ethereum, right? You bought it with real money. When you use that Ethereum for gas fees, it has cost you, right? It has cost you actual monetary value. So testnets do not require you to spend money, and the project will, provide you the steps as you go. While not all new blockchains will open their test phase to the public, some do. So the thing is, testnets are more popular with blockchain solutions, right? There are testnets for decentralized apps which run on top of blockchains, right? But it's not as common as blockchains running testnets. So when a new blockchain is coming up, a lot of the time or some of the time, you will have they will, release a testnet first. So new developers that are looking to use their blockchain will have a feel of what it looks like. Okay, they will have a feel of how it functions before they actually have to, put up real resources, set up hosting and whatnot. with the real app. So yeah, it's more popular among blockchains. You have testnets more popular with new blockchains. But you also have them with D apps, decentralized apps. You also have them with other kinds of blockchain solutions. It's a great way to ensure that their solution can handle actual traffic from real users and help them tweak their processes until they achieve a high efficiency level. So testnets are really good. Testnets help everyone, both users and the developers of the blockchain, the builders. It helps them know uh where they need to tweak one or two things and whatnot. Now, connecting your wallet to a blockchain network allows you utilize its functionalities. And this is true whether it's a testnet or mainnet. You know, if you want to use Bitcoin blockchain, you will have to be connected to the blockchain one way or another. Um, okay, it doesn't really apply to Bitcoin since Bitcoin doesn't have smart contract capability for now. For the most part, that's for end user apps. You can't really build on Bitcoin blockchain as easily as you would on Ethereum, which was created to be built upon. Right. So let's use Ethereum for that analogy. If you want to interact with a smart contract embedded in a decentralized app, let's say for something like staking, right? If your wallet is not connected to that blockchain's network RPC, right? It wouldn't work. Don't worry too much about what an RPC means, but it's just basically like what enables you to uh it's technical stuff. It's just what enables you to interact on that particular blockchain. So each blockchain has a unique RPC, right? So let's move on. Chainlist.org is a great place to add test networks and networks in general to your wallet. Once you are on the website, click on Include Testnets to see testnet chains. After connecting your MetaMask wallet, search for the chain, that's testnet or mainnet, you want to add. You'll see Add to MetaMask. Click on it and wait for the pop-up message from your wallet. Then click Approve. Once you click Approve, the RPC will be added to your wallet, and then you would be able to interact on that testnet or mainnet. Sometimes you could be so early in spotting a project that you meet them still in their testnet phase. Participating in these testnets can further confirm or deny your convictions with respect to your decision to invest. A good testnet experience can foster growth and interest in a project, attracting liquidity. So liquidity is basically, funds, monetary value from real users, preferably big players, people who have large sums of money, right? A horrible testnet user experience, I'm talking 1 star rating levels, could be a sign that the team either do not have the required talent to bring their project to life or did not make the necessary preparations to avoid disaster. Basically, a horrible testnet experience is a sign of incompetence. However, bear in mind that a bad testnet experience doesn't necessarily mean that a project is doomed for failure. It's not the finished product. So, like I've said, testnets are what projects use to find, vulnerabilities, bugs, issues. So just bear in mind that it's not the finished product and don't just write them off, right? Assuming have a project in mind, you wanted to invest, and then you see that their testnet didn't really go as planned. Okay, bear in mind that it's not the finished product. It's just another thing to bear in mind, just another thing to consider. That's how the testnet went. It's just one more thing to consider to help you make a final decision. That's all for this module. Thank you for your time and see you in the next section.